Okay, so I'm in this trailer park down here in San Diego. Drive by it often. And I see all these king palms in here. Yet, I see lots of variation amongst the phenotype, basically how the palm looks, amongst different trees. I think there might be some kind of unique plants in here. I'm always looking for the best plant to get seed from. And I'm really curious about these trees. Oh man. So these here look like, oh gosh, that looks like Archonta maxima, the big one. Look, it gets, or Alexandria. It's hard to tell. I don't have enough experience in looking at all these different types of king palms. See all those big ribs are sticking out? That's a sign of both of those plants, maxima and also Alexandria. Also, the base of the trunk flares out more on both of those. Maxima, the trunk gets bigger. Those trees are pretty big. Like that one right there is probably 20 inches across the base. And then here's a regular king palm. That looks like a regular king palm to me next door. There's nothing special about that one. But these here, see how the heads are much bigger? Much bigger than that one. And they're silvery. See the silver up there? Right in there. So, anyway, maybe we can start a big argument whether these are Alexandria or maxima. Anyway, I lined my road with maxima, but they're really little. So there's also another palm. I'm gonna turn the video off, and when I find it, I'll show it to you. Oh, there it is. That one back way over there. That's an interesting one too. I don't know how I can get to it. It looks like it's in a backyard. There's a very dense crown, almost like a Rhopala stylus. They're more upright. They don't droop down as much. I can't really tell much about it from here. I don't want to creep around too much because I want to stay out of jail. I'm going to go around the block and see if I can find anything about that one. Anyway, if you see me prowling around in your yard, you know, it's probably for things that you wouldn't think, like just, you know, looking at plants mainly. Like here's an example. Here's a typical kind of lame king palm. See how this king palm is kind of airy? It's just droopy. And I don't know, it just doesn't have the look that those others did. I like that upright, really dense look because I think it's more resistant to wind. This one here looks pretty beat up, whereas the other one didn't. I think it has to do a little bit with the structure of the foliage. That one right there. Anyway, and then here's a couple more. These are your typical Archonta cunninghamiana right here. Beautiful trees, but you can see that oh geez, sorry about the focus here. There you go. Regular cunninghamiana. It's hard to drive, and you know, not supposed to do that anyway. Don't tell anybody. But I'm being real safe. Regular cunninghamiana, that's what they look like. And what I'm trying to find are trees that, for whatever reason, hold up better because these fronds get a little beat up. See from the wind and the sun. So I'm looking for, that's the only thing about this plant in California. It just doesn't look like it does in high humidity climates. It doesn't get beat up as bad. You can see the brand new foliage that hasn't been exposed to the environment for very long is just gorgeous and perfect up there. And then as it gets older and older and older, you get less and less ideal foliage because it's beaten. Also, this palm doesn't have the big rings, the big stepped rings on the trunk, and the trunks are not nearly as big. Those trunks down there are probably only about 10 inches across. So, there you go. Trailer parks are fantastic places to look at palm trees. There was a guard shack, and I just waved and just said, "Hi, just a palm freak, checking palms out. Nothing to see here. Move along, move along." So we'll see what else I find. If I find anything else cool, I'll let you know. Okay, here's something interesting. See if I can make this whole video without getting out of my van. And look, it's probably a good idea that I don't get out of my van here, because if you read the signs, there's no trespassing because they're tired of hiding all the bodies. That sign, and then there's a smile, you're on camera, and warning security cameras in use, and a bunch of other stuff. So I need to be extremely careful here. But he's got some interesting king palms. There's the two on the right are pretty much normal, but the one on the left is leaning hard, and that indicates leaning crown syndrome, which sometimes these it's like pinnate palms are the only ones that get it. Queen palms, king palms. Yeah, they just lean over. They don't really know why or what the cure is and that kind of thing. They think if you cut off the whole head just above the bud, then maybe they'll come back. But yeah, it sometimes kind of kills the plants, but not for a long time. Like, you'll have this funny leaning palm for years and years and years, and it just looks like it has bad posture. Anyway, you got the Washingtonians trimmed real nicely here. What else do they have around here? Okay, that's where I was, way over there. And this tree here is on a totally separate development, which is next door. And you can see what I'm talking about now. See how these fronds are just really dense. They're stiff. My head's not that big. Looks a little bit more wind resistant. Okay, this is a good place, good vantage point for what I'm talking about here. That right there is really cool. Look at the silver in it. Boom. So it's like Maxima or some other type of odd Arcana Phoenix. And the one below it, like I said, that's Cunninghamiana. Does look like Cunninghamiana there. See how they're drooping down? The one right here is drooping down even more. And then you have this one right there. Totally stiff fronded, upright, and actually it does have some silver in the backside of it, but it doesn't have the steps on the trunk. So there's some really cool stuff going on here. I have to check on these trees for seed, see if I can get some seed off these guys and grow these things. So there you go. All kinds of different kind of kick palms right there.